You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Nuggets postcast. What is going on, Nuggets Nation? Hope everybody is doing well on this Friday night as the Denver Nuggets get the job done against the Miami Heat, absolutely stomping them. Your final score here tonight, 133-113. Plenty to talk about on the program here this evening. But before we get to that, let me tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Just visit FanDuel.com to get started. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. For anybody watching on YouTube, appreciate y'all as always. Make sure to do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. But man, what a game tonight for the boys. And like I said on the last postcast after the game against the Houston Rockets, we just had to kind of chew that one up and spit it out because that game just meant absolutely nothing. With no Nikola Jokic, no Aaron Gordon, Jokic being ruled out right before the game, right? That was a non-competitive effort from the Denver Nuggets in that game against Houston. But Jokic back tonight, Aaron Gordon back tonight. And I know he didn't play or he didn't miss the last game, but Jamal Murray. Is Jamal Murray back, folks? Has Jamal Murray flipped the switch? Has he figured it out? If that is the case, and I've been advocating for Jamal Murray to, get his head on straight. If his head is indeed on straight, watch out, folks. This Denver Nuggets team is going to be able to do some damage the rest of the way this season and hopefully into the playoffs. So absolutely love to see the effort from tonight from the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they virtually controlled the entirety of this game, won every single quarter except for the third where they tied 31 points each there, and really just a dominant performance across the board. Great team basketball tonight. I mean, Miami's largest lead in this game was 2 points. Denver controlled from start to finish for the most part here in this game. And a lot of that is because the big fella was back, Gordon was back, Murray was back. And not that Murray missed the game, but he's back playing well, rather. And we'll talk about some bench dynamics a little bit later on in the program. I thought the non-Jokic minutes tonight were pretty darn good, all things considered. We know that that's been kind of the Achilles heel and the kryptonite of this Denver Nuggets team over the stretch of Nikola Jokic's prime career here with the Nuggets, of course. But, maybe Michael Malone has unlocked a little something here with this bench unit that he's been running when Nikola Jokic is not in the game. We'll break that down a little bit later on in the program. But let's dive on into it tonight, man. And, I mean, like I said, the big takeaways, as great as it is to have Nikola Jokic back, I mean, didn't play in the fourth quarter, doing his thing. Aaron Gordon, off the bench, but played 22 minutes, so he's ramping up. But the story of the game has got to be Jamal Murray. I mean, it has to be Jamal Murray. Started this game hot, finished it, strong, but Denver didn't really have to play many of their core players there down the stretch in the fourth quarter. And Jamal tonight finishes with 30 points. And I know I got a couple of comments on the last post-game show because I was talking about we want to see Jamal average, 22, 23, 24 points a game. And he hasn't done that over the course of his career with his career averages. But that was more so in theory talking about you need 20 plus a night from him on a regular basis. And not just 20 plus, you need 30 plus. Right? You need those Murray flurry games on a relatively consistent basis to kind of continue to build this confidence and hopefully, launch this team into this winning trajectory. They're on a winning trajectory, of course, but like championship trajectory is what you're looking at now with this Denver Nuggets team if Jamal Murray can keep his play up. So like I said, 30 points tonight for Jamal, plus 19 in the box plus minus, 2 of 7 from 3, 12 of 24 from the field, so 50% there. You love to see that. 4 of 4 from the line, and he was doing it all, man, distributing the ball well tonight. 8 assists for Jamal, 7 rebounds for Jamal. I mean, this is the Jamal Murray that Nuggets fans have been waiting for this season. He also had 3 steals in this game, a block as well. So doing it all tonight was Jamal. And look, I've been hard on Jamal. I've been harsh, as has other members of the Nuggets media. There's been some people that have not been as critical, kind of waiting for him to wake up. So I'm sure they feel pretty validated now that he's done it. But as I've said time and time again on these shows, when you've got the best player in the world in his prime, you need to push your chips into the center of the table. And that is not possible without Jamal Murray playing like Jamal Murray, like the Jamal Murray we saw in the bubble, like the Jamal Murray we saw in the championship run. And the last handful of games, let's actually pull this up here because he's been on another level here as of late. Let's see here. Jamal Murray Nuggets game log. Really, since that Detroit game, it feels like he's flipped a little bit of a switch, I would say, for the most part. Yeah, he put up 34 against Detroit. That was back on the 28th of December. And then from there, he's been pretty consistent. Had a couple stinker games in between, but 34 against Detroit on the 28th, 20 against Utah, 21 against Atlanta, and then, a couple rough games there against San Antonio, 14 and 13 respectively, 19 against Boston. And I don't think Jokic played. There was some factor in that game. I don't know if Jokic played in that game. Crazy because they've played so many games since then, it feels like. But then against the Clippers, 21 points. Brooklyn stinker with only 7. But then against Dallas, 17. Dallas again, 45. 22 against Houston in the loss, and then 30 tonight. I mean, just look at the last 3 games alone for Jamal, man. 45 against Dallas, as I mentioned, 22, and now 30. So in the games that really mattered, because I kind of consider Houston a throwaway game, 37 minutes played in that win against Dallas and 37 minutes played tonight against Miami. I mean, Jamal is doing what he needs to do for sure. Against Dallas, he shot 69% from the field. Tonight, shot 50% from the field. He's been shooting the ball well from 3 as well. Going back to the Brooklyn game, 1 of 2 from there, 50%. 33% against Dallas in the first game. You'll live with that to an extent. Dallas, he shot 55.6% from 3, 80% from 3, 4 or 5 against Houston, and then 50% tonight, 28%. So he was only 2 of 7, but he's still putting the ball in the bucket when he shoots 50% from the field. So you can, live with that from Jamal, when he's able to kind of put forth the offensive output that, he's needed to and that he's expected to as a max contract player on this Denver Nuggets team. So, that is definitely encouraging. And I think, we're in the middle portion of the season now, right? Like there's no more time to kind of get your feet under you. Now it's time to keep your foot on the gas. You need to keep pushing it down and down and down and just accelerate the rest of the way through the regular season. And not in the sense of like, obviously you want to win every game, right? But like not in the sense of we're going to go pedal to the metal and go balls out every single game, but you want to build that confidence. You want to build that rhythm. You want to feel good about yourself, trend in that right direction with the playoffs rapidly approaching. I mean, the playoffs are going to be here before you know it, folks. I know it's January 17th, but, we're going to be talking playoff matchups and this and that sooner rather than later. And the other part about this too is, what we haven't been talking about because of Jamal? Trade conversation. It looks like this Denver Nuggets team might have the pieces that Calvin Booth envisioned throughout the course of the offseason to help take this team back to the promised land. Now it's going to be up to them to do that and realize their potential, but it starts and ends with Jamal Murray for me tonight, folks. He was great. Nikola Jokic, just another triple-double, his 17th of the season tonight for the big fella. 24 points, 10 assists, 12 rebounds, 1 of 2 from 3. 9 of 12 from the field. You love when, Jokic, loves when he doesn't have to just keep putting the ball in the basket and take 20-plus shot attempts from the field a game. He didn't have to do that. And did we see that sick behind the back pass that he had earlier in this game? No look. They had the freeze frame of it here on the Nuggets post-game show as I was getting set up for our postcast here. I mean, who is this guy? Like I say it all the time. You got to just sit back and enjoy the ride with Nikola, man. He is just an absolute marvel. You had sleeved Jokic tonight too, right? He's dealing with that elbow inflammation, elbow sprain. And it was funny. He had a post-game comment in his interview on the court with Vic Lombardi talking about, like, Vic asked him, why don't you, are you going to wear the sleeve now more moving forward? And Jokic kind of joked. He's like, I can't because I got to show the refs the scratches and the marks that I get on my arms because I'm getting fouled all the time. But, we've seen headband Jokic. We've seen sleeved Jokic, there's all these different versions that just continue to be incredible because he is the best player in the world. And, I know SGA is having a phenomenal year. SGA just might go on to win the MVP. But Nikola Jokic is front and center in that conversation once again, folks. Front and center. So you get excited about that for sure. Like I said, Aaron Gordon tonight as well. He made his return after missing the last game with some I don't want to call it load management because he was injured, but injury management rather. 22 minutes tonight played for AG, so he's ramping up to those starter type of minutes now. Finishes with 16 points. He hit a 3-point shot tonight as well. Grabbed 6 boards, dished out 3 assists. Like to see that as well from AG, who was a +8 in the box plus minus. But man, feel good win for the Denver Nuggets. Jimmy Butler was back in action tonight for the Miami Heat after that 7-game suspension. 18 points for Jimmy. And, every single starter, when the score is the way that it is, when Miami's biggest lead was two points at one point in this game. Every single starter tonight for Miami in the box plus minus. And, I think I heard on the Nuggets postgame show, this is now 10 consecutive wins in the regular season for Denver against the Miami Heat. I should have laid 3.5. I'll tell you that. I looked at it tonight and I was like, maybe Jimmy has a game, might be. So I didn't end up betting the Nuggets tonight. But that was free. So congratulations to anybody that bet on Denver. But what a win. Welcome back, AG. Welcome back, Jokic and Jamal. Nice to see you present at the moment doing your thing. So let me hit my first break, guys. If you got any thoughts, go ahead and drop those in the comment section. As I always like to say, I'm the host of the show, but you, the fans, the listeners, the commenters are the ones that help me drive the conversation. So go ahead, let me know how you're feeling out there as the Denver Nuggets get the job done here tonight. Your final score, 133-113. As Denver gets their 25th win of the season. All right, we'll hit a quick break, come back, and continue along with the conversation right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, you guys, let me tell you about our friends over at Robinhood. Because with Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match or on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of a high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, just sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from the first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average saving account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Be sure to check out our friends over at Robinhood and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. Hope you guys are doing well out there, Nuggets Nation, as the boys get the job done here tonight. 133-113, your final score. Miami, and even 500 on the season now. They are 20-20 and only 10-8 at home. We'll see what happens with the Miami Heat here. They've got some decisions to make on Jimmy Butler. Maybe it feels like some of the gas has kind of run out of the tank with this current crop of players. It's been the same guys for the most part. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy, Hayward Highsmith, and Duncan Robinson. So, maybe just a little stale out there in Miami. We'll see if they end up flipping Jimmy Butler, as he's clearly disgruntled. He did play 33 minutes tonight. So, he was back out there in full force, but only 18 points tonight for Jimmy. 0 of 2 from 3. So Denver did a good job. Bam Adebayo is a darn good player, man, but Jokic just owns this matchup. He really does. Bam tonight, 16 points, 0 of 2 from 3. Did grab 11 boards, which you kind of come to expect from Bam, but Jokic certainly got the best of him in this game here tonight for sure. Let's talk about the bench here for a moment. And, there's something with the bench that Malone may have unlocked. And I know there's some people that are Malone skeptics out there that watch the show just in general and Nuggets Nation as well. As I mentioned to kind of open up the show, the non-Jokic minutes have been kind of the kryptonite of this Denver Nuggets team. And Malone, as of late, has gone to this rotation with Jokic not in the game of Murray, Strawther, MPJ, Gordon, and DeAndre Jordan. And they were great tonight in the non-Jokic minutes. And this might be a potential solution or kind of a go-to lineup dynamic for Michael Malone and for the Denver Nuggets as they progress throughout the course of the season. And if Denver can figure out a way not just to tread water, but excel and swim when Jokic is not in the game, I mean, that's going to take, that's going to put a ton of extra pressure now on these opposing teams. So, Michael Malone, like I said, love him or hate him, I'm a Malone guy. I think he's a great coach, and I think Jokic likes playing for him, and I think he gets a lot out of these players. I think sometimes when, Houston, for example, there's been some bad games like the NBA, man, these guys just take nights off sometimes. That's just kind of the reality situation. Every team falls victim to that. And maybe not as much with Oklahoma City because they're all young and hungry, right? But when you have seasoned vets, guys that have been there and done that, and for Denver in this case, having won a championship, that's just how it goes sometimes. But I loved the bench rotations here tonight, doing their thing. DeAndre's not going to put up many points, but he was a plus 15, the box plus minus in his stint here tonight. 15 minutes for him. He did his thing, grabbed some rebounds. And, that's what you expect. A couple rebounds for DeAndre Jordan. That's what you expect from him. Aaron Gordon, as I mentioned, off the bench, 16 points tonight. You love to see that. Peyton Watson only had 3 points, but made an impact. Everybody played in this game except for Dario Saric. And Julian Strawther lit it up from 3 tonight. He was 4 of 7, had 14 points, 5 of 9 from the field. So, a lot to like about how Denver played in this game here tonight for sure. As they get the job done here tonight, 133 to 113 rather, excuse me. And I just get excited about the prospect of Jamal Murray being Jamal Murray again, because that is just gonna, as frustrating as the first couple months, 2-3 months of the season were, kind of this Denver Nuggets team trying to figure out who they are, who they can be. You've seen that when they're locked in and they're ready to go, man, they're a tough team to beat. And I understand that Miami is not the Miami Heat of old. They're going through some ups and downs. Like I said, maybe it's a little stale, the message out there with Spoelstra, not that he's going anywhere, but they might be, in need of a little bit of a juice, a little bit of a reset here. But, for Denver to go out there and take care of business in the manner in which they did, you've got to be happy with that. And, Denver, 25-16 on the year, 13-18 on the road. I mean, let's take a look here at I mentioned it in the last game, or I don't know if it was the last one because of how bad it was, but they're what, 12-4 now after a loss. I mean, this is a team that has won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their last 6 games. I mean, they lost to Boston, and since then cleaned up against the Clippers, the Nets, Dallas twice, lost to Houston in a game that I don't really count, and then bounced back tonight against Miami. So, and again, the common denominator in a lot of these wins is who's leading Denver in scoring. Jamal Murray. In the last 3 games, Jamal's been the leading scorer. 45 against Dallas, 22 against Houston, and then 30 tonight against Miami. So, it's really not rocket science, folks. Jamal Murray plays well. The Nuggets are 9 times out of 10 going to win these games. That's the common denominator with this Nuggets squad here right now. So we'll see if they can keep it up. We're kind of in an interesting portion of the schedule. A couple of competitive games here coming up for Denver, which we'll talk. Well, one guy's ducking Nikola Jokic again. I'm sure you could guess who that is. Of course, it's on national TV, but I'm looking at it as well. But, we'll see if Denver can kind of keep their foot on the gas here as they move along throughout the course of the season. But for tonight, man, you got to love what you saw across the board. Contributions from Murray, contributions from Jokic as always, Gordon doing their thing. Great team basketball tonight for Denver, I would say. They did a good job tonight shooting 54.3% from the field. They were 50 for 92. Shot well from 3 again, 16 for 33. That's good for 48.5% from beyond the arc. Love to see that. And, another thing, the rebound battle was even. Both teams had 41 rebounds tonight. But only 6 turnovers tonight for the Denver Nuggets, which only resulted in 4 points. Because I think they had like 13 or 14, I want to say, in that loss to Houston, just sloppy basketball. Cleaned it up tonight with only 6 turnovers, which, like I said, resulted in only 4 points. Miami only turned the ball over 8 times, but that resulted in 10 points for the Denver Nuggets. And, that's what you like to see here tonight for sure. So good, clean basketball. Denver led by as many as 23, and they get the job done here tonight over the Miami Heat. So a lot to like, a lot to be optimistic about as the calendar has turned from 2024 to 2023, right? No more Game 7 loss to Minnesota, no more slow starts, right? It's a new year, not a fresh slate in that sense, but, a little bit of a kind of wipe the slate clean. Like I said, clean off the whiteboard here a little bit for the Denver Nuggets and refocus, and we'll see where they end up. So let me hit my final break. When we come back, we'll get ready to put a bow on the show. Like I said, if you guys got any thoughts, comments, questions, whatever it might be, let's go back and forth. go ahead and drop those in the comment section here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all as always for tuning in throughout the course of the year. And these games are chugging right along, folks. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you guys never miss an episode. But we will hit our final break, and we'll put a bow on the show when we come back right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Stick with me, folks. Back in just a moment. Where is my lower third? Did I not? I don't think I downloaded it. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. I got to tell you about our friends over at Skims, and I've actually been wanting to give Skims a try. Yeah, all right, here we go. All right, you guys. When I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was intrigued. Like I just said, I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, so I had to give it a try. And let me tell you guys, from what I've been told, it lives up to the hype. I've always had issues with underwear, fit, comfort, or just finding the right style for me. Skims is going to change all that for you. Their men's line offers something for everyone, from boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. I know a good amount of people that have tried Skims, the boxer brief, and they are absolutely hooked. These are perfect for an active lifestyle. They move with you, never lose their shape, and stay in place all day. Whether I'm working out or just running some errands, they're the most comfortable and reliable underwear I've ever owned. Plus, the lightweight material feels amazing, almost like you're wearing nothing at all. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com/lockedonnba and Skims stores. Let them know that we sent you after you place your order. Select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Guys, be sure to check out our friends over at Skims. Like I said, I've heard incredible things, and I'm sure that you will love it too. So, if there's any ladies watching, go get something for your mans. Check out our friends over at Skims and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. Let me also tell you about our friends over at FanDuel here real quick, guys, because from the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. That's $300 to keep the action going. The FanDuel app is easy to navigate, and the variety of bets keeps every game exciting. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around for your winnings. I can attest to that. Whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some extra excitement to the playoffs, FanDuel has you covered. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today and get started with $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And as I said earlier, congratulations to anybody that bet the Nuggets tonight and laid the 3.5 points, because that was free. And we've got some great NFL action coming up here this weekend. I mean, I am pumped for this Ravens-Bills game, Rams-Eagles. I mean, we've got some awesome matchups coming up in the NFL. So if you want to get some money down, be sure to check out our friends over at FanDuel and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, appreciate y'all as always. Make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. You guys can also follow me on social media at Media by AP. I see we got a question here from Fernando. He says, do you think we still need a trade? I do think they need a trade. I just don't think they need to go crazy at the trade deadline. I would like to see them add a spot-up shooter. I like to see them add a role player. I think, with your core five, Russell Westbrook, what he's brought to the table this year, I think you feel pretty good about where Denver's at, the current trajectory, and where they're trending right now. Maybe it's just a flurry. Maybe they're just hot right now. But you think you're going to be able to sustain that with Nikola Jokic, what he brings to the table on a night in and night out basis. I don't want to trade Michael Porter Jr. I don't. And I understand that, his usage in the clutch goes down, this and that. I think Michael Porter Jr. fits the DNA of this team. I mean, you want a championship with Michael Porter Jr. as a starter. The real thing that's hindered Denver since winning that championship is losing role players, losing guys like Jeff Green, losing guys like Bruce Brown, right? Losing guys like KCP. And look, there's not a KCP type guy on the trade market. We know that Denver's a bit limited with the salary cap and whatnot, but I do not think that they have to make a major trade if they want to contend. I think they're playing good basketball, and I think Russell Westbrook has been kind of that role player, who's played really well, considering how up and down he's been in his career here as of late. So, I would like to try to see them add maybe a player or two, low-level deals, try to figure out a way to get off Zeke Naji, and maybe just try to get a little bit of depth in the scoring department for that bench unit. But like I said, man, the bench unit tonight of Murray, Strother, and DeAndre Jordan and whatnot, you got to like that. You got to like the efficiency and the poise they play with. And real quick, once again, on Jamal Murray, scoring aside, I mean, he just looks to be pushing the pace a little bit more, playing with that confidence, and Jamal Murray, a bit of an emotional player, like when Jamal's emotions are in check and he's dialed in, I mean, he's an incredible player. There's really not much more to say to that. He's never made an all-star team, but he certainly plays like one in spurts. It's just when he's not playing well, it's bad. And then you put the weight of the world on Jokic's shoulders. And as I mentioned, MPJ can be a little up and down. Gordon's not necessarily known for his shooting. Russell Westbrook, while he has been shooting the ball well by his standards, like you need that one solid that you can rely on. And Jamal Murray is that guy. So when you get that out of Jamal, man, it sets you up for success on a game in and game out basis. But let's take a look here at the Nuggets' upcoming schedule before we get out of here. A couple of interesting games coming up at Orlando now on Sunday. That's a 4 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off, so keep an eye on that one. And then Tuesday, Joel Embiid will not play at Ball Arena once again. Joel Embiid has not played at Ball Arena since 2019, man. Come on. And I understand that he's hurt right now, but like the Nuggets fans are so robbed. Like the only time Embiid plays Jokic is when it's in Philly. Like it'd be great to see the Jokic Embiid matchup in the Mile High City, but unfortunately that ain't going to happen this year, as Joel Embiid's going to not play in that game due to injury as well. But then after that, they've got Sacramento on Thursday. So Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, those are the next 3 games here for the Denver Nuggets. And then they've got Minnesota a week from tomorrow. That's a 1 p.m. Saturday game on ABC. So we've got some juicy matchups coming up here for the Denver Nuggets. But for tonight, they improved to 25-16 with their 133-113 victory over the Miami Heat. That is going to do it for me tonight, folks. Appreciate y'all, as always, for tapping into the show. Absolutely love hosting them. Make sure to follow me on social media at Media by AP. And do me that favor, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button on your way out. But that is it for me. Enjoy your Friday. Stay warm out there if you're in the Mile High City. It's going to be freezing this weekend. But you got some playoff football. You got some Denver Nuggets basketball on Sunday to get you through it. But that's it for me, folks. Enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you guys on Sunday.